Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's yet another Tuesday where we are holding our 57th session of Mental Health Tuesday, a platform that SambaSports brings to you and other partners so that we may be able to dialogue on matters affecting our mental health, and also to have an opportunity that we can discuss and also find ways of coping with a lot of issues that affect us, and also to be able to support the people around us, brothers, sisters, cousins, and also friends who are overwhelmed by mental wellness issues. Welcome again. I'll be your host, Muhammad Ali Mwachausa, and we are lucky to bring to you for the first time as a key presenter. He's been a key presenter in most of the sessions. Amekuwa akidakia sessions za ingine. But today he's the bona fide main presenter, brother Daktari Mukhtar Ogle from the Office of the President, akiangalia masuala ya innovation na youth empowerment. Brother Mukhtar, karibu.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much. Of today, for me, is a very thrilling moment. I think, as you said, I was not a presenter before, but I was a disruptor of conversations. Today, I am on the crossfire. It's the issue of a noisy world, mentoring our youth for productive leadership. Between the challenges the young people face and the development agenda and how we envision a very good future. First, I wish to talk into three portions. One, to describe the nature of the noisy world. And two, to look at the components of youth and the role of mental. And thirdly, look at what we envisage in terms of thought leadership as we prepare our young people, because they are the leaders of today and tomorrow. For beginning, we face a serious breakdown in our traditions as a society. Challenges in parenting. We also have lost our moral direction for young people of what to expect. Many of the tasks is transferred to teachers in terms of guidance and counseling in schools. There are elements of the social setup which our young people feel vulnerable, and they feel they need an anchor to support them. But more significantly in this generation, there's a challenge of distracting communication to hold our youth back from producing their best. There are new technologies that are drawing meaningful distraction from our youth time spent outside productive work. I think this not only youth, but I think it affects us even else. The huge addiction to new technologies and social media. Internet lifestyle also for our young people is very exhausting. Different things that pull them, manipulating their emotions and their moods. Even as adults, the urgency for us to check on our Facebook, on our Twitter, or text messaging distracts us from time to time from our intentional purpose in life. Whatever you intend to do, such distractions also have these challenges. And this makes us to operate in an environment of compulsive social media. The youth also have irresistible attraction to screens, especially TV most of the time. Majority of quality time is, the bulk of quality time is spent on watching football, which is also okay. But in terms of productive lifestyle, these are the noises that affect the mental health of young people. There's also the negative impact of unrestricted online activity for youth, adults, which affects our psychological well-being. Also exposure to your friends in terms of peer pressure. This impressionist lifestyle that is carefully crafted to portray fake life of others. And this creates a feeling of insecurity and inadequacy amongst our young people, especially the teenagers and the adolescents. who see certain element of cruelty in society, and they ask why am I? As a coping mechanism, many of them, resort to other coping elements such as smoking, bangi. I don't want to judge them, and other forms of coping mechanism. Sometimes even in their deliberations through online discussion, through their WhatsApp group, this online discussion seems to accelerate our people's shift towards more emotionally charged engagement. Sometimes also our young people, they fear. If you see them enjoying the noise, if they're enjoying noisy music, the joy of our youth in drugs or in violence, there's a fear they are concealing. Our young people are not at ease when they think of the future. This is the noisy world that they operate in. What is required as emerging youth and women leaders? What is required of those who are mentors like Mahmoud and the excellent work you are doing? We also acknowledge that beyond the noisy world, what we need to do in a world of accelerating complexity, our youth must be helped to figure out some logic direction, to create demand for their talent and services to society so that they are productively engaged and their talent is appropriately tapped. We must make for the personal lives of our youth by identifying the process and the period of modern digital life in which our young people operate. But more importantly, we also must acknowledge the internet power and the force to empower our lives. Whether we are seeking, if I'm in Kuala and I'm lost, I'll use Google Map. There are other facilities that are used through the internet. But today's knowledge is intense, competitive environment. Only those with the best ideas will be destined for success. So giving young people and mentoring them through good ideas is very important. How they engage with determination to make a breakthrough as they transcend the challenges of poverty we have discussed in the previous sessions, and they make a very tight combination for the demand of their creativity. We expect young people also to lead with thoughts so that they inspire others and influence society positively and transform their dreams into reality. As parents and also as mentors, we must learn to decode the youth and their digital ecosystem and map it on a grid of complexity. Having acknowledged they operate in a very complex environment, we must understand them before we condemn them. So in this world of confusion, and having talked about what we need to do in terms of mentorship, what is the ideal situation we expect of our young people, especially the young men and the emerging women leaders? Successful thought leadership starts with unique ideas that are substantiated through authentic experiences, which is shared with others with a view to society. Such successes come through deep thinking, a keen self-awareness as an individual. You can only help others when you understand yourself better. So self-awareness is created through the group engagement. Our young people also, as thought leaders, must lead with thoughts, look at their core beliefs and insights in shaping the society. Particularly, I'm always very favorable to this thought that in our rural poverty ecosystem, we must create disruptive change as young people. They must partner and ignite change, focusing on what truly matters. Digital technology is important, but how we help our communities is important. Such thought leadership that we expect of our young people science doesn't come easy. Discipline. Such discipline must compete on ideas, experience, insights from our mentors. We must our young people as emerging leaders new paradigm, but also capture the key to ideas that have impact in our. And my three final thoughts as I wait for questions on this. We talked about young people coping with drugs, battling their internal demons, battling social expectations, failure of school, lack of employment, despite the promise of devolution. We must also ask our young people to escape from their internal challenges that they go through and invite it through self-awareness, look at issues deeply, purposefully, and through understanding, and seek advice of our elders and those who mentor young people. Don't bury your faith in fear. Don't look for escapist mechanism of the issues that you worry. By trying to fix your problems, engaging in drugs, but look purposefully your life and transform it to shape your future and through a better way. This can happen through mindfulness. If you are self-aware, you are more mindful of to face your fears, and always keep calm in life. Life is not always easy. What I'm reading, what I'm with you does not come easy. It takes through discipline and some deep thinking, and more importantly, faith, a prayerful faith, kindness to others and to yourself. People should form protective, constructive networks amongst themselves. Because I have seen in Kwale the excellent talk Muhammad is doing, and even in Swahili Pot, their meetings they have their gumzo mtaani. Lakini gumzo mtaani should not be the basis for veve only, but even that, they must productively engage in ideas that shape and change their lives. Such networks will enable them to think together in a very deep, dynamic, and difficult solidarity. We might be poor, but as we align our thoughts together, we must unify our ranks and make today different from yesterday, and much, much better, so as to begin and make the world we seek. Finally, the art of visual thinking. They must visualize. They must have that vision. How will they want to be in the next 5 years? Yeah, of the age in Kenya and in rural Kenya, particularly in Kwale. That's why my unit of in this engagement is that poverty is not a choice. It comes, but you can overcome. Success if you show the discipline and the focus that entails, and the mental health that drives. And we are forever grateful to Mohammed and his team at SambaSports for starting this national conversation. For you and leverage the art of visual thinking and be able to compete in the world of artificial intelligence. Many young people of the age of our people in developed countries are artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. All this is not English. You don't need English to learn these issues. You don't need to be rich to also to be skillfully prepared for the future of work. We must adapt the requisite leadership and the strategy and discipline and the that will run the world, the future of work. Finally, the future is digital. Artificial intelligence is a force in the art. It is connecting disciplines with a capacity to stimulate, collaborate with, and even extend the work of creative geniuses. No field of human endeavor will remain independent of artificial intelligence as we shape and frame the future for our young people. It is the new social work, and it is displacing human activity. Although humans design operational systems, the computers do the work. In a nutshell, The future is very bright for those who prepare for it. And in life as young people, you might not have what desire will come if you negotiate through your ecosystem, through your account, through your words, through your operation environment, and create purpose in your life and seek to deliver for excellence as the future of Kenya and the future of communities and families. Thank you very much. Wabillahi tawfiq.
Wow. Asante sana daktari. Najua umetumia kizungu mingi sana, but the people I see on the platform are also very avid English speakers. So I'm sure they've taken a lot home.
And I want to apologize. I will respond to the questions.
Okay. Daktari, are you there? You said you will respond to the questions in Kiswahili.
Yes, I will respond. But I
Daktari,
don't. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Yes.
Will you respond in Kiswahili for the questions? Okay. Thank you very much. I want to open it up now for the audience to hear their responses. If we have questions, if we have comments, please raise your hand and we're going to give you an opportunity to speak. Or you may write on the call chat and we're going to read out your comments. Here we go. Madam President is ready. Nuru Omar, please take the stage.
Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. So sorry I joined late, but this was an interesting topic. I had initially intended to join earlier, but the beauty of it is some member of this group just decided to inbox me and be like, Madam, we are not seeing you on the chat. And I was like, oh, it's
They're
time.
not seeing
I had
the
forgotten.
president,
So
and we are concerned.
they're not seeing their president. Yes. So this topic today is a very important topic, even to me, because I'm also still journeying in the youth. And one thing I can say that is very familiar to a strategy that I've been using for a very long time, when you want to block out unnecessary noise, the easiest way is to keep your mind on the goal. Like if you have no goal, there is no way this noise will not affect you. Because remember, the noise is generated from different sources. It can be some family issues, maybe relationships, maybe it's children, maybe it's work, maybe it's politics, maybe it's even some religious restrictions, because some people are holding on to it and not understanding that religion is not supposed to enslave you. Maybe it's tradition, maybe it's culture. There's so many things. Some of these things are just mind-made, and they maybe affect your small family. You have your own set of rules that are keeping you from exploring other opportunities. Now let me switch to Kiswahili. Ninachosema ni kwamba ni rahisi kuziba kelele zisizokuwa na tija wakati unapoamua kufocus kwenye malengo. Lazima uhakikishe lengo lako haswa kubwa unataka kuwa nini. Hizi zote ni njia unapita, lakini ili hizi njia ziwe rahisi, hakikisha kila ukikaa asubuhi amka useme, Nuru, mimi niliamua nataka kuwa daktari na nataka kuwa daktari wa mifupa. So kitu chochote ambacho katika maisha yako hakichangii katika ile safari yako ya kuelekea kwenye udaktari, jifundishe kuachana nacho, manake hakikujengi, kinakurudisha nyuma. So hata ukiwa kwenye mazungumzo, ukiwa na marafiki, hakikisha ni marafiki ambao kwa njia moja au nyingine wanachangia katika hiyo safari, weidha kwa kujua ama kwa kutojijua kwamba wanachangia, lakini wewe umeshachuja kwamba rafiki fulani nikifuatana naye hii safari yangu haitaisha, na rafiki fulani nikiendelea naye ananiongezea mambo kadhaa ambayo yatafanya ile safari inakuwa rahisi. Aidha anakuongezea uwezo wako wa kuongea, ama na kuongezea uwezo wako wa kuzidisha imani kwa Mungu, ama na kuongezea uwezo wako wa kujua njia gani utakazotumia za kukutana aidha na madaktari wengine kama networking. Lazima uhakikishe ule mwongozo wako unalingana na lile lengo, ndio ubaki kwenye mstari, yani ubaki kwenye ile barabara. La sivyo utakuwa unajikuta kila saa, kila kelele inayopigwa wewe inakudhuru. Watu wanagombea inflation, wewe ni mtoto wa shule anayekulipia ada hajalalamika, lakini wewe umejitweka majukumu paka ya wazazi wako unayabeba kifuani. So umeacha kusoma ama kufikiria lile lengo lako la kusoma, kusudio lako la kusoma ili uje urahisishe ile hali. Instead unataka kuingia katika protest ili uprove kwamba na mimi pia I feel so bad, because I remember kuna time my father told me the school fees is my problem, so as long as I'm not protesting you don't have a right to. Your problem and your biggest responsibility is to go through school. So hiyo ikafanya nika eliminate mambo ambayo yanihusu, maana huo sasa ni umbea. You're thinking about things that have nothing to do with you. They are not your responsibility. Align yourself to that one responsibility of going to school. Let me worry about textbooks. Wacha kama nitakopa, hilo ni jukumu langu. Lakini najua sio kila mtu ana faida ya kuwa na mzazi wa namna hiyo. So usiruhusu zile changamoto ndogo ndogo, mambo ya jamii yakaingilia katika lile lengo. Ndio itakuwa rahisi wewe kuchuja mambo gani utatanguliza, mambo gani sio muhimu. Kama kukaa kwenye maskani hakukusaidii, ni bora uje kwenye hizi social platforms upate kupata mawili matatu from like minds. Na siku hizi uhitaji kuwa na maswahiba hapo kwenu. If the environment is not conducive, get friends. There are friends online, there are support groups online, there are books even in your phones. Find a way of ensuring that you stay close to the goal, the noise will go away. That's all I wanted to say today. Asanteni.
Asante sana Madam President, and asante kwa kumlipiza the main speaker, Dr. Mukhtar Ogle. Amepata co-speaker.
Unanichomea.
Thank you very much. Very, very important content. Nuri, they are saying kwamba if you set out on a journey, say you are traveling to Mombasa from Kombani, and you pick stones and hit at every dog that barks at you, hata wao hutofika. Wakati unasafiri safari ndefu na unatafuta mawe na kupiga majibu yote ambayo kama anakubwekea, inamaanisha safari yako hata robo hautofika. Maana majibu ambayo yatakubweka ni mengi tu. So concentrate on your journey and forget about the dogs that bark, because it is their way, ni maisha yao kubweka na uwezi kuyazuia. Na ukisema utapiga kila jibu ajiwe, inamaanisha safari yako hata nukta haitochukua. Asante sana. Nuri, Amani, take your platform.
Asante sana Mohamed. I hope nasikika vizuri.
Loud and clear, kama mtu mwenye yuko juu ya mnazi.
Asante. Mimi nitaka kuzungumza kitu kimoja, lakini nitaanzia pale ambapo Nuru ameachia, na ili jambo ambalo linakuja kwa wale ambao tunawaangalia na kuwategemea katika kutupatia mwongozo wa namna yoyote ile, na hili linakuja hasa kwa wazazi. Kwa hiyo wito ni kwa vijana, sisi tujue kutofautisha vitu viwili hapa, mtu ambaye anatusemea na mwingine ambaye anatuelekeza. Kwa sababu kuna yule ambaye ukifanya jambo atakusemea kwamba wewe unafanya kitu hiki na hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi, maneno mengi na kashfa nyingi ambazo atakurushia. Lakini kuna yule ambaye ukifanya jambo anakuwa anakuambia, sikiza bana Nuri, hili ulilofanya ni kosa, lakini sahihi kabisa ambao unastahili ufanye, uchukue njia hii na hii na hii na hii na hii. Sasa kwa hiyo kule kuelekezwa ndio ambao sisi wengi tunajaribu kufanikiwa katika yale ambayo tunafanya. Na vijana wengi tunakatishwa tamaa pale ambapo tunasemewa, lakini ikiwa tunaelekezwa vizuri kwa kupewa mwongozo ambao ni sahihi, wengi huwa tunajiamini na kupata nguvu na ari ya kusonga mbele kila uchao. Kwa hiyo kibinadamu zaidi, hata mtoto mdogo ukiwa kila siku unamsemea na kujaribu kumwambia maneno ambayo ni kashfa nyingi sana, kwamba wewe labda hujui, wewe ni mpumbavu, ama jambo fulani usifanye hivi na hivi na hivi. Kwa hiyo inakuwa kwamba mtu haumpi mwelekeo kwamba ukifanya hivi utakuwa unafanikiwa, na kumpatia njia mbadala za kwamba atafanya kitu gani. Nitapeana mfano. Mimi nikikua, kulikuwa na vitu vingi sana ambavyo nilikuwa na ari navyo kuvijua, na naamini kabisa laiti ningeachwa na ule mtizamo wangu wa vile ambavyo maisha nilikuwa nayaona, kwamba usome uende nchi za watu ukasome, lakini baada ya hapo ung'ang'anie tu kupata kazi nzuri, maisha yako yawe ni mazuri. Lakini kwa sababu nilipata mwelekezi akaniambia kwamba hapana, wewe unaweza kufanya jambo hili na hili na hili na hili, na wewe ukawa mtu ambaye una faida katika jamii yako. Kwa hiyo naamini kabisa laiti nisingepata yale maelekezo kutoka kule mtu, labda sasa hizi tusingepatana Nuri katika platform kama hii. Na katika mentorship nadhani youth inabidi tuwe tunaelekezwa zaidi kuliko kwamba tunasemewa. Mawaidha mengi ambayo tunapewa ni ya kusemewa na kukemewa, kwamba vijana mmezidi kitu hiki na hiki na hiki. Tunashutumiwa na kukashifiwa kwa namna, lakini hakuna ambaye anatuambia vijana fanyeni hivi ama shikeni njia hii, mkishika kitu hiki na hiki na hiki na hiki mtafanikiwa. Kwa hiyo mimi nitaongea kuhusu jambo hilo tu, tushike yale ambayo ni yameelekezwa zaidi, yale ambayo tunasemewa tuyaweke pembeni kabisa, kwa sababu ndio yanatamausha na wengi wanakata tamaa kwa sababu ya hayo maneno ambayo wanaambiwa. Mimi nitakomea hapo tu kwamba kwa wazee akina Mukhtar, Mohamed na wengine wengi, endeleeni kutuelekeza, kwa sababu nyinyi mmetangulia mbele, mnajua njia ipi ni sahihi na ipi si sahihi, na wapi tukanyage, wapi tuache. Asante.
Shukran sana Nur, na naamini Daktari Mukhtar anasikiza sana, ijapokuwa ata decode Kiingereza. Niseme tu kwamba sisi ambao kidogo tumesonga mbele kiumri, nitakwambia Nuri kwamba unavyozidi kuishi utapata wengi ambao kwamba watakuwa wanakupigia kelele. Kwanza mimi husema kama umefika miaka 35 na bado uko na imani ya kufanyia kazi jamii yako bila kuchoka, basi wewe ni Mungu amekuchagua, kwa sababu utakuwa na ari miaka 22, ukifika miaka 27 ile matusi ambayo umepewa yanakutosha, ukasema mimi nataka kuishi maisha yangu peke yake, kwa sababu sasa huku kusema yangu kumezidi mno. Lakini kama umefika miaka 30, 35 na bado unafanya kazi ya jamii ama unafanya kazi bila kuogopa, inamaanisha Mungu amekuchagua, manake wengi huchoka. Kwa hivyo mbali na kwamba wako wenye atakuelekeza na ni kidogo, wengi watakukemea, na wenye kukemea mara nyingi ni watu ambao kwamba wao wenyewe hawana cha kufanya. Wao wenyewe hawana cha kufanya. Na ukitaka kutofautisha baina mwenye hana cha kufanya ama anazua tu zogo na mwenye anataka kuelekeza, ni kwamba mwenye anazua atakwambia tu mbona unafanya hivyo, na hakuambii mbona usingefanya hivyo. Kwa mfano, ukianza kufanya mradi wa kuangalia watoto wa kisichana, utaambiwa mbona waangalia wasichana uangalie wavulana, muone kama mmezidi sana kuangalia wasichana na wavulana wanapotea. Lakini pengine swali umuulize wewe ambaye kwamba pia una macho mawili, masikio mawili na mikono kama mimi, mbona usianzishe ya wavulana kama mimi nafanya ya wasichana? Na ukianzisha wavulana, wengine watakushtumu kwamba mbona unafanya ya wavulana unaacha wasichana. Ukifanya mbinu mmoja, mtu atakwambia mbona ufanye mbinu hii unafanya hii. Kwa hivyo lazima ujue kutofautisha. Mwenye anakusongesha mbele ni yule ambaye anakuambia unafanya hivi, lakini ingekuwa bora zaidi ungeongeza na hapa ama ungepunguza hapa. Lakini mwenye tu anakuja na shutuma either on social media ama kwa simu ama kwa macho, jua huyo ni mtu wa kumpotezea tu, hana la maana katika maisha yako. Brother Beno Oko, you had your hands up, and then Mheshimiwa Mishi. Brother Beno Oko.
Shukran nadhani nilinuka kimakosa, lakini ni topic muhimu sana ambao tuwazungumzia leo hii, jinsi ya kuweza kufanya kazi na vijana. Manake kwa saizi tunaona kwamba jana nilikuwa na mkutano na jamii yangu ya Kibera. Manake mauaji ya kikatili yamezidi, masuala ya uwizi yamezidi. So tunashindwa ni vipi itaweza kuifanya. Tumeshindwa tuigeukie serikali ama tujipange kama jamii ili tuweze kuyazungumzia masuala kama haya. Daktari amezungumza vyema na amesema kwamba kuna opportunities nyingi sana ambazo ziko katika digital space sahihi ya vijana. Lakini jambo kubwa ambalo niliona jana ni ya kwamba wale vijana wengi ambao pia wanaingia katika crime, wengi ni wale dropouts wa primary school, class 6, class 7. Watu kama hao tunaweza tukadili nao kivipi wakati ambapo tunazungumzia masuala ya digital space? Shukran.
Aha, daktari, swali hilo.
Yes. Those are the...
Ungependa kujibu kwanza ama tusonge mbele?
Okay.
Haya, Mheshimiwa Mishi, alafu Abdulaziz Mohamed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Mheshimiwa.
Mwachausa, you are misguiding people. I'm not a mheshimiwa. I'm not a mheshimiwa.
Sawa, tusonge mbele. Sio kanipiga kofi likafika paka huku nje ya kompyuta.
Thank you. So yeah, I also like today's topic so much. I think as a youth and many people would become something like infopreneurs. I think people want so much information. People want to know about almost everything and about everyone. So it's like we're actually doing business with information. You know, you just want so much of it, and we are not utilizing. Sometimes we don't utilize even half of what we know. So most of the youth just find themselves in most of these social media platforms where there is so much information. Some of it could guide them. Some of it could actually mislead some people. So I think maybe it's just even high time. I'm one of the people who are against too much use of actually social media and technology. I think where we've lost most of us has been in the social media and in technology. We have age restriction for so many things, for the use of alcohol and so many things, but we don't have age restriction to social media. So the youth, some of them very young, are exposed to information they don't need, information that could be destructive to them at very young age. And we know that social media has become addictive, very addictive, just like alcohol has been addictive and other things, and gambling and other things. So, and just like any other addiction, we know that in the long run, it destroys us. It costs us a lot of money. It destroys relationship, and sometimes it just makes people lose focus. You know, so I think the issue of addiction among the youth of social media and the use of technology, I think something should be controlled, whether through the parents, I don't know how else, but we really need to control the use and access to social media. There's so much access to so many of these things that are very addictive, and they've been costing a lot to the youth and to so many people. You realize that when people now have problems, most of these young ones, because they've been exposed to phones, they've been exposed to machines, they've been exposed to televisions and so many other kinds of media platforms, people just turn to these devices. Even when they have serious problems, when they need a serious mentor, all they do is turn to either Facebook or Instagram. And because of this, they're not able to form those kind of deep, meaningful relationship or find relevant mentors, people they can seriously look up to. What they copy are people on social media, some people who sound so tough on social media, but on the ground things are different. People who sound like they've accomplished everything, but in real sense they haven't. So they only watch these people instead of forming deep relationship with people close to them. And maybe their teachers, find serious mentors, real life mentors, instead of just watching people on social media and on different media platforms, and then they just get so too much overwhelmed with all that information from everywhere else. They get overwhelmed, and in the long run, now they cannot form any kind of a serious, meaningful relationship or mentorship relationships. So I think that is a role that we need to play in maybe controlling access to technology and social media to our youth and the very young ones. Nowadays, we give our kids the thing that we didn't have. We give so much of them the thing that we didn't have. We give them phones at very young ages. We give them devices. So instead of people talking to one another, even in our own homes, People just talk to their devices. Everybody's busy with their device just because you can afford them now. And in the long run, we make them lose, or we deny them the values that we had in the past just because we didn't have these devices. Because then we were able to talk to one another, we were able to form trust, we were able to form meaningful relationship and friendships and mentorships. But now, because we can afford these things, we tend to give our kids, our young ones, all these devices. So when they have problems or when they need something to learn from, they turn to the devices instead of turning to people. So there's a role we need to play in just controlling access to these devices when it comes to our youth and our kids, basically. Thank you.
Wow, wow, thank you so much. That was a session by its own. Daktari, maybe if you may, in the next few weeks, we may need to just come and say, how can we limit, or how can we manage, devices as a way of creating peace with ourselves and also with the people around us. Your presentation, Madam Mishi, rhymes with Tumangome's question. Daktari, I hope you listen to this. He says, my question is, what should be done so that youth can come back and start getting advice from their parents or elders? Long time ago, we used to have Romes. Romes was a way where youth could get advice from parents. What should we do? Rome was when, after every evening meal, the grandfather or the elderly uncle would bring all the younger ones from an extended family and talk to them, especially giving them stories of values, showing who are the outcasts, what did they do in the community to be outcasted, who are the heroes, what did they do to be heroes, who are the role models, stuff like that. Rome doesn't happen again. And Rome was a way of heart-to-heart conversations that would, instill values and efforts. Madam Mishi is crying out for the same. And Tuma, thank you for that question. Let's listen to Abdiaziz and then we give it to Daktari to wrap it up. Abdiaziz Mohammed.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Thanks to Dr. Mukhtar for that informative presentation. It was educative. I'm here for the second time, I think. So I will borrow a leaf from the mentee issue. I actually being mentored by Dr. for so many years, and I owe to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to where I am now, and again to him. I will borrow a leaf from President Nuru's issue, that it depends on who you associate with when you want to go somewhere or when you want to reach a place or what you're aiming. And in this, I will just give you a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ to whoever knows Arabic here. I think a good number of you know Arabic. So, Al-maru ala dini khalili. That's what the Prophet said, ﷺ. So, you will be in the religion of your friend. So, if your Jabba base is just the muguka eating, then that's who you will be. So, it depends on who you associate with. And I'm telling you that if you want to reach somewhere, go for the successful people and listen to them. Give your time, take time off, check their diary. And I'm telling you, hardly a week passes without seeing Dr. Mukhtar Ogle, even if I look at his diary when he's free. So it's good to associate yourself with the people who can take you where you want. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Abdulaziz. Very short, concise, and very powerful message. Daktari Mukhtar, over to you. A number of questions, a number of observations. What is your take?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will respond to them to the best of my ability. Madam President, thank you very much. I think she said something very powerful pertaining to as we commit and engage with family, also as we engage with children. What she said was, from what I accessed, was we must focus on the matters. Ngome, a fundamental issue, I think, which unfortunately I left out in my presentation, very critical to this dialogue, is that indigenous and traditional knowledge, which is reserved for the elders, is very important. Elders have the gift of the past. Elders is anybody who's older than you. They must not be 80 and above. But even those who are 80 and above have institutional memory, the social challenges and issues that we are battling. They have rich experiences which will help us. And I think as part of our engagement, we must also focus on intergenerational guidance, counseling, and mentoring for our young people. And also say about your free time and people you associate with. Reading is very important. What has really helped me myself in my work and my personal life is reading. If you are reading, tell me the books you want. But I do digital reading. So instead of doing multiple things, even I think we can have a reading club as part of this engagement. Then we can share books and learn from each other. Finally, I think on the challenge, she said, very important to acknowledge and learn from other communities. Among us, the Japanese, both for the adults and for the young people, their method for transforming habits, one small step at a time. They call it Kaizen. Actually, I made that book. I'm reading that book now. In that book, it is practice means good change or improvements. Not about change, but identifying particular goals in your life as a young person, both short and long term. By making small, manageable steps to achieve the goals that you so desire. That is doing things incrementally. It is only you who knows yourself or herself. It is only you who can deeply think and interrogate yourself and look at where your successes are, improvements need to be done. In the East, particularly like the people in Japan, the wisdom is about living well and with happiness. In times of uncertainty and in a stressful world, we must focus on ourselves and our immediate families and the communities that we must commit to making new positive habits in the spirit of the Japanese method of Kaizen. Learn to be disciplined is very important. Act on what matters that impact on your physical and mental health. Be more creative, more relaxed, and focus on what matters, and above all, be kind to yourself. Yesterday, I was in Ogle University. I was the chief guest for Scratch program, graduation for the first, I think, 40 students. Admirable also, the majority were from the coastal region of Kenya. I did not ask how many were from Kwale. They are doing an excellent program. Many of them are teachers of coding, Scratch work. And I think, Mohammed, I challenge you, let us start coding program in our schools in Kwale, in liaison with the counties. And I request Madam President to champion this. It's only when we develop the skills of our young people. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear
please.
me, Mohammed?
We can hear you.
Yes.
And we had started coding classes here. And I can tell you,
Yes.
last year, the national competition, the number 4 nationally came from the coding class here.
Thank you very much. And I actually requested Ogle University to establish a partnership with SambaSports and the work that you are doing so that we can scale, because they have institutional partnership and relationships and they are doing good work. Abdulaziz, thank you very much. Abdulaziz was one of my youth leaders from the slums of Nairobi. Now he's a leader and is leading a major American organization in the slums, especially in the amongst the urban poor, and mentoring young people and livelihoods, but with particular focus on labor issues. I hope we induct him into the SambaSports community na tumfanye elder huko so that he contributes the same to that community. Finally, Madam President, sometimes it's good to step
Yes,
back
sir.
and analyze the issues that affect our current issues. I actually am a strong admirer of young women who is be mindful of the habits of our young people and
Yes.
slowly improve on their critical issues. We can create a critical mass of change drivers, particularly in our rural areas, where many of our young people are vulnerable, especially young girls, because what is not only dehumanizing, but it makes our young girls very vulnerable. Also, our single mothers. Let them be part of this conversation of the mental health, which Muhammad has excellently framed, so that we provide authentic behavior and habits with small actions that can be truly transformative, so that our people can adapt new and exciting challenges to make their lives better. And inshallah, together, we shall succeed. Wabillahi tawfiq.
Wow. Thank you very much, Daktari, for that very, very wonderful presentation, and thanks everyone for your contribution. Nuri, I don't know if you may read some of the messages as we close, so that at least everyone feels presented.
Can I borrow a minute?
Yes, please, Madam President.
Daktari has posed an opportunity, because it's not actually a challenge, but it's an opportunity. And I want to take it upon myself to promise him that that is some of the things that I'm working on, because the Miss President show, eventually the winner will have an opportunity to access a grant for any community initiative. And I was targeting two main areas, and that is financial and digital literacy. So Mwambie Daktari, it is a thought that I've already had. And in terms of attitude change and behavioral change, I know it's a process, but I think also through those sessions, we'd be able to expose our youth and women to understanding how the world works and how opportunities can easily fall on their laps if they are able to access some level of information. And lastly, I think there was one point I wanted to say is, for the youth, you should learn not to be attached. Don't be attached to what is not yours. You came into this world, whatever you are acquiring because God has given you an opportunity, which means it can also go away. So while you're staying focused, also understand that you'll be accumulating things, and you need to learn to let go. You need to learn to let go of your favorite program, of your favorite school, of your favorite compound, of your favorite neighbor. At some point, you'll have to learn to let go, and don't use that as a reason to lose focus. Stay on the goal, and then the noise will definitely disappear. That's all. Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you very much. And I want to just offer you that as SambaSports, we are already partner or collaborator. If you have anything that you want to bring to Kwale and you need hands, we have several.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is taken under advisement.
Okay.
How do we vote for you, Madam President?
Oh, send Nuru to 23960. I'll write it in the chat right now.
Please.
Sawa.
Sisi tumevote mpaka vidole vimeanza kukauka, but tunaendelea. Sawa.
Actually put on the chat.
Wonderful. Yes. Make sure, Madam President, you have it on the chat. We are going to make a shout out again tomorrow in our platforms to rally behind you. We believe it's coming home. We can't wait. Let me see. Madam President, it's taking time. Let me just write it. Send Nuru to you've already written. Okay, thank you. You know, tumevote mpaka sasa tumememorize. Tukiamsha hata usiku wa manane ushavote.
Asante sana Mohammed. I was trying to type with enough information. Oh God, I'm so sorry. The voting ends tomorrow for those who are still new. And every day you're allowed to vote once. So please, you can vote right now before the day ends, which ends at midnight, and vote again tomorrow. And all your SIM cards are votes. So if you have 10 SIM cards, those are 10 votes. Please cast them tonight.
Let's
Yes,
rally everyone to vote because we know you deserve it. Daktari, you still want to say something as we close?
Yes, as my final thoughts is that for each of us, I think it's important to acknowledge that the only way to have a continuous self-improvement culture is to practice improvement by engaging everybody, everywhere, and every day. Change is infectious. Because of the leadership all of you have shown over the months I was listening to this conversation, let us apply it in horizontal and vertical ways in order to transform our lives within our communities. Because we all have the potential to overhaul our current situation of our communities, change the habits that we are complaining about, which was very well articulated by both Madam President and Mishi, so that we are let us be and practice till we get results and improve the lives of our community, especially the young people, especially young emerging women.
We have okay. Thank you. We missed the last bit, but I think the advice is home. Kama vijana tujipange, let's have focus. Let us not make enemies of our friends because that is part of the noise. When you're focused, you know the direction that takes you to where you want to travel. I want to wish you all the best and good night. We love you all.
Thank you, Mohammed. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Good
Everyone,
night.